If you're a maintenance supervisor for a commercial property, you've had to deal with everything from leaky faucets to flickering light bulbs. But nothing's worse than that ancient boiler that's lived in the building since the day it was built, 50 years ago. It's enough to make anyone lose their cool. That's where Grainger comes in. With industrial-grade products and dependable fast delivery, Grainger can help with any challenge, from worn-out components to everyday necessities. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Blog Talk Radio.
Good evening, everyone. This is me, Jonathan Alexander, and I'm here to host our show, Live Laughter Happiness. Today, I have my co-host, Barbara, here. Are you there, Barbara? Okay, Barbara, you there? Hello?
Hi.
Hi, Barbara, you there?
Yes.
And also, our other guests are Lori.
Oh, hi.
Are you there, Lori?
Oh, I didn't know we were on air. Hi, everybody.
Yeah.
Happy birthday. Oh,
Yeah.
happy birthday, everybody. Wow.
Okay.
I was still on hold. I didn't hear the show start. Great.
And also
Tell me how who's
Marlene.
here.
Lori,
Marlene,
Marlene,
happy
we have not
birthday.
heard from Joyce yet. So I'm going to
Happy
try to
birthday,
see.
Lori, too.
Yeah. And happy birthday, Marlene. Now, I'm going to try, but before we go further, I'm going to try to call Joyce, because Joyce is apparently not called in yet.
Okay.
So give me a second here.
So,
Thank you for that,
what
Barbara.
is your,
Thank you.
of course. What is your sign, you guys?
Gemini.
Cool. Gemini. That even sounds cool.
That's what I told Jonathan. Only the coolest people are born on this day.
Very cool. I know some of the coolest ones then. You guys, this is amazing. I'm glad you all got together and were able to do this. It really meant a lot to Johnny, too. I have a question.
The synchronicities just matched up really, really nice. And actually, it's the genesis of your show, Barbara, because I have called in now for, I guess, a year, maybe a little bit more, and you guys always offer up a big to-do for birthday.
Yeah.
And I remember your birthday, the birthday show for your birthday, and a former host that you used to have that's no longer with you, that one, and another common, I guess, psychic reader that's no longer with you, and you guys were just so wonderful in honoring her special day. And then what caught my attention was that I think Johnny said, well, my birthday is May 28th. And I go, wait, back up a minute. He goes, what? And I go, well, that's my birthday as well. And ever since then, he's been mentioning that him and I have the same birthday. And I don't know what happened, but he also mentioned Maureen, that he knew Maureen had the same birthday.
Yeah, I
Maureen,
found out about that today. Yeah, I found out about that today. I mean, that's just amazing, because we've had Maureen on twice and we didn't even know that. And Maureen did some theta healing on Barbara, and it was her telephone fear. You remember that, Maureen?
Oh, I enjoyed that.
Yes, we
did.
Yeah, we did a reading. I was going to ask Barbara if she ever got her dog.
Oh, I know, and I want to, but I just haven't yet.
You haven't found them, or it hasn't come to you yet?
Okay, thank you, because it's not that I don't want to or I have any doubts about having one. I actually don't know where to get this certain kind I like, but I don't even know what this certain kind I like is
Joyce
called.
is right here.
My
Joyce?
neighbor has one. But I don't even talk to the neighbors.
I got Joyce here.
Oh, Joyce, happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Who's that? I don't know who I'm talking to.
And we have 4 May 28th on right now, don't we?
Yes.
Can we please review who everybody is, and happy birthday to everyone. God bless us.
Yes.
Hi, Joyce. It's
Johnny
Maureen.
introduced
Happy
everybody.
birthday.
Hi, Maureen.
Hi, Joyce.
Joyce. And let's see. Who else is there? Okay, tell me who else.
Hi, this is Lori.
Hi, Lori.
Lori German.
Happy birthday.
And this is me.
Same to you.
That's
Happy
you.
birthday.
That's Johnny. And who else?
And that's
Johnny,
it.
Lori.
Wow.
Yeah, Johnny,
Okay.
Lori,
Yes,
and
Barbara was
Marlene.
not the birthday today.
Oh, terrific. Okay. Thank you.
Hi, Geminis.
Yes,
Hi.
absolutely.
Yay.
When you said
What is your
when
best
she heard,
trait, you guys?
when Joyce heard that we were going to have 4 people on, she goes, there's like 12 people in the room.
That's absolutely true. But one thing we all share in common is a very good mind. Is Barbara on the line with us also?
Sure she
Yes,
is.
I'm here. I was the one who said,
Hi,
what
Bob.
is your biggest trait? Hi. I said, happy birthday first to you, but it's hard to tell which voice is which, Joyce. But
Yes. Thank you, Barbara.
yes, I was asking everybody before you came on your sign, and they all say Gemini, so that is cool. And then I was asking, what is your biggest trait? And you were about to tell us about something that you all have in common.
Okay, I think it's very hard for us to actually talk about ourselves in most cases. But I think if you think back to your either college or yearbook that you received in high school, what your friends wrote about you, if you had that little blurb, they say 3 or 4 things about you, those things are usually true. Like in my case, they said life is a party, which is true, intelligent, which is true, friend to all, which is true. I would go out of my way to make sure that if there was a person who was handicapped or sick or anything like that, I would go out of my way to be nice to that person. So those are the basic traits, and I can't believe that my friends were so smart that they said those things about me, which are all true. So that's my long answer to a short question. So, like
those
the
are
party.
good traits, that's for sure.
That's
awesome.
If we show up. In most cases, we don't show up, because we say, we have those 2 twins. You have the good twin who says, sure, I'd love to go to the party. And the other twin says, no, we're staying home. That's it. We have that conflict.
It's like a conflict going on inside.
Yes.
There's a lot of duality with a Gemini, and I don't know if you guys share this, but I'm a big advocate for right and wrong. So that's like a big characteristic for me is, like you were saying, I fight for the underdog. I fight for anyone who is being mistreated, and anyone who I want to show that empathy. So I think that's a big trait too.
That's a really nice one.
My yearbook had on it was a mindful of logic, a very wordy lady, good-hearted, mindful of logic, and always has something to say.
See how accurate? Jonathan, what did your yearbook say about you?
Well, I don't really remember what my yearbook said, but I can tell you that we didn't do that in my yearbook. I will tell you that I heard a lot of things like whenever I told people on my birthday, they go like, "Oh, no wonder you're on radio."
I forgot about
wow.
that. Right.
Yeah.
Of course,
but,
communication.
I want to introduce another friend of ours. This is Vanessa, or I refer to her as the doctor because that's how she talks because she's so brilliant. Let me introduce you to everybody, Vanessa. This is Joyce Keller.
Hi, Vanessa.
Hi, Joyce.
And this is Lori. Lori, and this is Marlene Scanlon, and she does theta healing. And Marlene shares our birthday, as does Lori and Joyce.
Oh my gosh! I've got happy birthday! It's all around. Hi there.
But I wanted to say something because I know your birthday is not May 28th, Vanessa, but I'm going to say this. I don't know what it is. I don't know why this happens, but time and time again, you Aquariuses are a breath of fresh air. I mean, they're so easy to talk to. And what are you?
Oh my
Vanessa?
goodness! You know what? I apologize for interrupting, but I'm surrounded by Aquariuses, so there's this really connection between Aquarius and Gemini. So both of my daughters are Aquarius, and so is my husband, and that's like the best match in the horoscope as far as compatibility and understanding.
And what are you?
So there you go.
Wow,
that's true.
What sign are you? What sign are you? You there,
What are you
Vanessa?
talking?
Pardon? I am Aquarius, yes.
I'm like, what? Yeah, obviously. Hi, Vanessa, by the way. I'm the lonely Leo over here. Everybody's forgotten about. I feel like I have a thorn in my paw.
I heard you loud and clear. Hey, Barbara.
Thank you. Hi.
What a terrific group of people. There's so much blue in the conversation, which means that Archangel Michael is around.
Yes.
Oh, sure.
Wow. Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah,
Vanessa,
there's a lot of blue.
Could you give us a take on what you perceive to be the common denominator, intuitively, spiritually, or whatever comes to mind, just like Joyce was able to do?
The common denominator?
For the Geminis that are in your presence right now.
Oh, well, unity leapt to mind. Unity has been very popular this year in my readings, but unity truly is here. I also see, they show me levels, so you have layers of, looks like energy fields that are all integrated and supported. This is a very lively, integrated group. The three birthday people, and then here's our Leo friend Barbara, and me. Everything that has been said about Aquarius being, I'll use this word, simpatico. I'm in Houston, Texas. Simpatico with Gemini. I have a friend since the first day of 7th grade with whom, I mean, look at all those decades, 40 years, and she is a Gemini, a June 9th baby, and we're still friends.
That's amazing. Usually, Geminis like to discard people like tissues. We don't keep friends too long usually.
Oh.
I have to ask you all. Can I ask you all a question, please? And I think I may have asked earlier in the day. Do you all know when we were conceived and why?
I saw that.
Labor Day.
No.
Yes, Labor Day. Yes, yay, yay.
Oh,
you know why?
I will tell you this. They've not to go to tangent, but they say the most popular birthdays somewhere in September because everybody is just wild on New Year's Eve, and everybody is just.
That's right. That's right. Yes, I had a baby in September. My baby was born in September, so it's really true. We were celebrating Christmas.
Yeah.
but it's so funny,
I used to work in labor and delivery in a hospital, and I can honestly tell you, yes, that September was our busiest month. So I completely agree. The whole holiday from the end of December to the middle of January, that was the time for people to be conceiving.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Valentine's Day.
So what do you all think is going on now with this seclusion? I've just about had it. I'd like to get back to life.
Tonight I was going to tell everyone, and I'm going to give everybody this wonderful quote from my nephew, which is just so sweet. He is autistic, but he says the most brilliant things, and he'd hear Joyce laughing because I know what Joyce is hearing. Apparently, my nephew Van is so mad about being sequestered that he wants to go kick that bat in the ass.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Well, autism is a funny thing because I think the Rain Man may have been autistic. Is that correct? And
yes, he was.
Oh, yes. You see that extreme brilliance. And can someone please explain to me now? Maybe Jonathan, you can give us a better understanding of what's really going on with autism. I would love to know.
Well, I'm just going to say something, yeah. And first I want to introduce another friend.
Okay.
This is Hope Holland, and Hope, I'm really glad that you could show up to tonight. This is Vanessa Ori's here.
Well, happy birthday! Of course,
Thank you.
happy birthday!
You know,
Happy birthday, Hope.
I put Hope Holland on The Sims 4, and I made her a mermaid. And but I was gonna say this is who was always online. I was gonna say something about autism. I was saying that I think it's sad in a way, but in a way it's a blessing. Like, for example, we see things in kind of in a way to where everything has to be the same.
Yes.
But then again, it's kind of like, it's not in a negative way. I mean, it's not like for example, you know, if I say something that I'm worried is going to take people off, I apologize 10 times. And I've had to sort of learn not to do that. And I think a lot of the people here on the phone with me have helped me not to do that. You know, maybe indirectly or indirectly. Am I right in saying that, or?
Yes, you came here to be who you are, and whatever that entails, you contracted to come here and live your purpose and be the person that you are. And so in whatever it is that you experience in your lifetime, and I hope you guys all agree with me, it's you being able to give those lessons and take those lessons for whatever reason. And it doesn't matter whether it's autism or there's dementia, there's Alzheimer's, there's all the whole spectrum of anything, anything mentally. It's who we are spiritually and why we came here and what we're supposed to learn. So you never need to apologize for who you are, Jonathan.
Exactly. No, ever. And to be honest,
real quick. I spent a lot of time over, I guess, the course of last Saturday, even past this Saturday, talking to Jonathan, having little interviews and little conversations and a lot of back and forth texting. And this is going to just blow you all away. This guy is so smart. I couldn't keep up with what I needed to write because every time I thought I had my article finished, he would blow me away with even more backdrop of how it was that he was able to formulate. And he's got a very scientific mind, how he was able to do the research and do everything in such a way that it took me on an adventure from his childhood to present day Jonathan and all of the decisions that he has made throughout the course of that time. And I'd love to write a book about him. I mean, it was so interesting. Mm-hmm. And he saw the final article. I could have written more. It just...
Now, I'm curious. A lot of people have asked me where you're going to publish this, because I've been telling a lot of people about this. I showed it, and we did a Blue Jeans thing today, for the family, where they blew up the cake, and But I'm just telling you, it's so funny. It's so funny. I mean, my nephew, he doesn't want to wear. Both of my nephews are autistic, but this one. Because it's something about clothes or something, wearing shirts. He won't wear a shirt. He'll just run around without a shirt on, and he's been obsessively watching the whole Florida thing. Like, okay, Florida's reopening. Florida's into phase 1, and actually, I want your opinion on it. I've actually thought about having my autistic nephew on. But there have been some people, and I guess they think that he may not be able to handle being on. And
I think if he's around the right people that he's comfortable with, that's just my opinion. But getting back to your initial question, it can be published wherever you want it to be published. It's yours. Just include my name as the author. Don't change any of the verbiage, but you can publish it wherever you want to.
I mean, would you know where to publish it?
Yeah, I mean, I could go to medium.com. There's plenty of places I could have it published, but I do know that you have a blog, so you can start off and put it on your blog, and yeah, I can publish it at bigger places.
Please publish it, because you probably know more about the publishing than I do, and I don't want to accidentally do the wrong thing. I mean,
No, it's yours. Just keep my name and the integrity of the article, and it's yours.
I understand.
We can publish it on there. I would love to read it.
I would love to read it. And there's something I want to add to. Jonathan, how long have we known each other? About a year. And I have to tell you, you have been not only an extremely honest human being, your heart is so beautiful. You would never intentionally hurt a fly. And that is so rare to find this day and age. People don't care. They care about themselves. You were so thoughtful. You were so caring. And it's been nothing but an extreme pleasure from the moment you and I spoke, from us even working together, just everything. And I honest to God think that you have something so special in your heart that it just touches people.
But I want to say something, being that both you and Vanessa are on the phone. You do know whenever I talk about Vanessa, or I call her doctor, because it's like talking to a doctor. And
I'm the one on the beach.
Hope Holland. I always imagine Hope Holland. This is what I would see. It's like the way she talks. It sounds like she's laying on the beach with sunglasses, giving you advice. So.
And it's funny because I grew up on the beach.
Yeah,
so
and that's why I imagine
you
kind of a mermaid.
That's so great.
Barbara, you would be happy to know that I did mention you, of course, in the article, because it has to be known that you bring such a brightness and such a softness and a well-rounded balance to the show. And I did mention that. It's in the article.
That's sweet. And that's
very true too.
Thank you, Vanessa.
Yes.
And what a wonderful gift to do a writing. Was that for his birthday?
Well, I've been meaning to do it for a while, but yeah, the situation presented itself. And, as I was writing, I said, by the way, he's got a show May 28th, which happens to be his birthday, and oops, mine too. What do you know?
Oh, it's your birthday too. Happy birthday.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
There's 4 people here with the same birthday.
Oh, really? Happy birthday, everyone. So who is it? So it's Jonathan, Vanessa.
Not Vanessa.
No,
not
John.
Vanessa. Joyce, Maureen, Lori, and Johnny.
Wow. Well,
and Vanessa and I are just friends saying, hi, happy birthday, everybody.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I thought that was Vanessa who was talking last. Yeah.
She is here, but she's just when is your birthday, Vanessa, exactly?
It's January 29th. But
that's
you know
what?
I
mean.
I can participate a little bit in this, because 30 years ago on May 30th, I had my son John. So
there you go.
Yeah, and my favorite
cool.
I'm a NASCAR fan. I like the analytics and I like the analysis. And my favorite driver, I did not know this, his birthday is also May 30th. So This is a very popular set of days. These are smart people peppered in here between, the May 24th and the May 30th. Not that none of us are not that the Leos are not that the Aquarius are not, but this is an interesting, loving group.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hold on, is your favorite race car driver your husband?
I'm sorry.
Your husband, he was a race car driver, right? Is that your favorite?
Yeah, he's a professional.
Is he the May 30th?
No, he's a Libra. And he's so nice. Libras are so nice, aren't they? Fun and nice.
I love extremely nice.
Libra. So fun.
Yeah, they're just the nicest people. Every Libra I've ever met is just the nicest dear heart, and so is he. And yes, he is, and he's won so many things. So he's got loads of trophies in his mother's attic, and that's how I found out, is that he...
Oh, really? That's how... He's
yeah.
not talking about himself, is he, much?
No, he's not. I don't think Libras really do. I think they tend to look at others, and they're very joyful around others, it seems.
Oh, it seems so interesting. And that, who said, is it Maureen that said that the Aquarians are the best combination for the Gemini as far as friends?
Gemini.
The three air signs.
When I was dating, I would meet people and kind of research on what the were, and the Aquarius, they would always say that this is a 100% match because just this understanding and this meeting of the minds, and we just get each other. And since, like I said, I'm so Aquarian, and it's funny about you're a Leo because my friend is 20, so it's their combination, Gemini, Leo, and Aquarius, that just are royal people, and we love to have fun, and there's a lot less judgment. I think there's a lot of black and white signs, and I think we're all kind of gray area except one another.
Oh, wow, I love that. I know that they said Leos go well with Cancers, and my best friend since 4th grade is a Cancer, so that made sense to me. And the Aquarians I get along with, my brother is one, and so funny and super smart, and Vanessa is one, and all of you guys are Geminis. So we make a fantastic group tonight.
I believe that Hope is a Cancer. Am I right, Hope?
Yeah, I'm a Gemini. My birthday's June 16th.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh.
What an amazing collective. I mean, this is an amazing, because when I stepped onto the call, I was shown so much, and then someone asked me about basically what I saw. I can't remember the exact words, but this is a very interesting collective, and I rather commend you, Jonathan and Barbara, for bringing the collective together, especially on your birthdays here. Our friends.
I was surprised, to be honest with you, that you because normally on your birthday there are other things planned, and like for example, Maureen, I told her about this morning, and I'm thinking to myself, well, she's probably off for some family thing tonight, but I'll just let her know. Oh, okay. I mean, it was like, what do you normally do with your birthday, Maureen?
Wait for your call, Jonathan. That's all that I had planned today, was just waiting to talk to you. Yeah, it was very spur of the moment, but Joyce said it best earlier. She said, look at the synchronicities, and that's what happens with the universe's components. We were all supposed to be here at this time and space and this moment to come together, and I love it. I love you all. It's amazing.
That's really well said.
Thank you.
Good observation. Yep.
Yeah.
For any of the intuitives or any of the intuitive readers, do you see any kind of commonality, positive, or anything that the Geminis should look forward to or should plan on for the new? Well, it's an anniversary. It's the anniversary of life. Everybody, arrived on the planet May 28th. So what would be, reset. I guess, a reset? That's a global theme. That's very, very true. But what do you see in particular for Geminis insofar as?
I don't mean to cut off, but like when Spirit talks to me, Spirit cuts me off. So then it's like I move forward because they'll keep talking, and then I'll miss half of what they're saying if I don't say anything. But Geminis, and this doesn't go for Geminis. This goes for other signs as well, but especially Geminis. Extremely smart, well-focused. They know exactly what they need to do when they need to do it. And with this, what we're calling like a new reset, we're going to be on automatic where we just kind of know what we need to do and how to handle things. It's going to be a very strong setting that's coming in through all of us, like even as a collective right now. And it's going to be even better than what it was in the past. So I just see everything bright.
I got the same thing.
Everything
I got
amazing.
Shift.
Yes.
It's like I got full body chills, and then and I heard shift, and I completely agree with you. I feel like we're all stepping into that next phase. And if I may ask, If you don't want to disclose, I understand. What birthday is this for everyone? I'm just curious.
Mine's June 16th.
54. 54.
Oh, mine.
54?
What?
Yeah, I'm 54.
48.
I'll be 47.
And I'm 50. How interesting is that? We're all kind of in this 45 and over, 45 to 55. Yes.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Oh,
I am
wow,
the
you got
eldest
to
here, I
pick my
think.
phone. Wow. That's fun.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like it's
I
been a
know,
long
that's
time waiting
awesome.
for me.
There's different stages
wow.
that people go through in their personalities. And I've heard, and I don't know if this is correct or not, please someone correct me, but you start going more into Taurus or start going more into other phases of your life as you go from 40s to 50s to 60s. Your Gemini personality starts jumping into different houses and different rising and different ascending. Can anybody shed light on that for me with regard to all of us being in the area? Uh-huh.
Right. The rising sign doesn't change. That stays the same. It's the ascendant, and that's based on the time of your birth. That is always the same. So if you know your precise birth time, you can figure it out that way. So, like for instance, if you're born at dawn, I was born around 6 o'clock in the morning. Your ascendant is the same as your birthday. So your rising sign would be Gemini. You're a double Gemini. So it changes every 2 hours. Of the day.
Oh, wow.
Moon changes every 2.5 days.
I was born at 1:57 a.m. No, 1:52 a.m.
I
was born at 6:03 a.m.
I was born around that time, 5:25 p.m. That's what the birth certificate says, and it's so funny. I came out in 15 minutes, and
wow.
Well, I say that with pride to let all the mothers on the throne know. Oh wow, he let us off easy. I mean, I came out in 10 minutes. It was like I almost came out on the car there. And so every year on my birthday, the night before, I said to my mom, so Mom, would you be having you're having birth pains right about now? She goes, no, son. But my mom.
Can I make an observation here? In addition to all of us being born on May 28th, we're all moon babies as well. So I was 7/11, and everyone just said they were born in the AM. So I don't know. I love throwing all of these little components in there. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and the moon sign is very important. That changes every 2.5 days. So the moon's the emotions and the way you feel, the internal part of you. So do you all know your moon signs?
No, I don't.
No. Okay.
No, I don't.
That, so I'm not by my ephemeris, so. But it's just interesting to hear you all talking at the same time. It's great. I'm listening. So what's coming up this year?
What would you say is something besides like empathy, mental acuity, communication, humanitarian issues? Those are all Gemini issues. What to work on as Geminis? Because I'm not chatty,
patient. Definitely patient.
I would say.
No, I've got too much patience.
Yes.
It's the ability to kind of let negative things go, and actually, Vanessa has been able to talk to me about that because, she's been able to sort of mentor me about letting negative things go and letting things, I don't know why I think people with autism, maybe it's the autism thing, we sometimes bring up old things more than maybe we should, and sometimes it's important, and I think Vanessa has been able to kind of, sometimes, Vanessa, about this, like there's negative energy that gets attached to you if you get the drift.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, and that's what you've been sort of helping me with in the past,
I'm glad
I think, couple of months. Yeah,
I'm
glad.
got something from that too. When you told Johnny to say that, to get out the negative in his mind that's in there right away, cancel
It's amazing.
King flight. I do that
Pink light.
now, and it works.
Yeah.
It does. It's Saint Germain's pink light of healing. And the cancel is immediate because your words perform so well. And it's interesting because client to client, caller to caller, you can pick up their energies as to how much command they have in the scope of their words. And you can fix that for them. You can equip them by basically waving the wands that are their words, and it empowers them. And I really think that gave, for example, Jonathan a voice when that tool was brought forward. Cancel, cancel, pink light, pink light. It is amazing how it works.
Yeah, that's good.
It's very
Instead of
evocative.
having to avoid something, you can face it head on and just say that and be so aware and in tuned that you can conquer anything.
Well, it's very evocative against negative.
Yeah, I remember, Jonathan, you and I had a talk on the phone offline, and then I remember, Barbara, we also talked about this in one of the shows also, where we just talked about being able to just say, if they're not contributing to or serving my purpose here, then I need to let that go. And Jonathan, I don't think it's an autistic thing, it's a human thing. And you know, as a life coach, and like she said, the canceling out in the words, it's the fear of being able to speak our truth. And when you get that, like Joyce said, it's so empowering. And then because your fear is the reaction of others when you do that. So when you're able to finally speak that truth, and then you see that the reaction was not, horrible, the sky is falling, then you get more comfortable in it, and that's when you're empowered to continue to do that in a healthy way.
Oh, it was very well said.
I agree. I don't think that's an autistic characteristic per se. Jonathan, just to let you know, you're in the same company as me. I'm like a bulldog. I hold on to pain and things from the past, and I don't let it go, and I rehash, replay, reword, and I've been working on that for all my entire life. So I don't know quite how to stop doing it. It's like a rewind in my brain, and I don't want that to be going on anymore.
Hey, I don't mean to interrupt, but I will say that oftentimes it's a disconnected loop. In other words, I think these energies, we as souls here on the phone, for example, and those listening, we are people who like to have a complete homework assignment. In other words, the assignment is finished. The lesson is learned. But when we engage with people, for example, God bless the narcissist, they don't like to have a complete thing with you because they like to keep that hook and that bait out there. When we step away, from example, from energies like that, and we invoke something interesting, I'm going to suggest a tool, is you put your thoughts, I call it a wave, some people call it a bubble, and you say, I am not a person that can be controlled. I am not your ideal match. And you send that back to that person on a wave, or like, they talk about bubbles, and keep applying it to that person. Because there are these things called cords that you're finished, but the other person may not be finished. And I'm like you. I will go back there and revisit that dead thing, that dead event, and because I'm trying to make sense of it. I think that people who are listening and understand this is that we are logical, reasonable individuals, and we want an end to it. If we don't receive an end to it, we will revisit. By putting that thought in the bubble or on the waves and say, it is finished, I'm not revisiting this rut any longer, it starts to help build and cement the energy so that you won't go back and revisit. I will say that I'm a person that has done that. I completely understand that description of going back and revisiting, because it's not complete. It can be unrequited love. It can be injustice. It can be a lie. that was told about you. Defamation of character.
Yes.
Yeah.
I did the same thing for so many years.
Right. I completely agree. And in the psychology world, they'll call that attachment, so emotional attachments. And right. I love what you were saying. And what it is this need to have closure. And there are just, when you accept that you don't have to have that closure, then you can move forward. But with our duality as Geminis too, we've got this logical side. We want you to believe what we believe, or we want you to kind of understand and see our side. But then we also have this emotional side that has these attachments. So kind of balancing the both of them is the key for us.
Interesting. I learned a lot right there. Thank you.
For me, I did the same thing until I learned the red balloon effect. And I just started putting what I couldn't let go of in a red balloon, and I would send it out to the universe, whatever that issue was. And I said, I send this with love and peace, and I would find something grateful, whether it was a relationship, whether it was anything that was something important in my life that I just didn't want to think about anymore, that it was just time to let it go. And I would send it out to the universe. And every time a thought came in my head about that, I would say, I let it go, and I let it go with gratitude, and it didn't come back. And eventually those thoughts just stopped coming back. Because when you send it to the universe, it takes care of itself. And when you add gratitude about it, you kind of don't need to figure it out, because you're already grateful for what happened, and you needed to go through whatever it was that you needed to go through to learn a certain lesson in order for you to move forward.
I want to say something.
Said.
This is not the first time that Vanessa and Hope have been on the same show, and I'm glad that you're both here, because I want to go ahead and say it. You have said the most wonderful things about each other. You have really said the most wonderful things about each other. Hope has said wonderful things about Vanessa, and Vanessa, she said a lot of wonderful things about you. So it's really good that you're both here.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. You know, it's good to we feel people, so it's different. And when your heart is just open, you don't look for certain things. You just recognize really good people. And when you see that, it's like, oh my gosh, this person is so great. So we don't recognize. I mean, of course, we could feel bad people, and then we just kind of just okay, we'll just. But when we feel good people, we just want to tell the world, just such an amazing person.
I love it. And you guys were talking about phase, like you were talking about phases that we go in. At this phase, especially being 50 today, this is Maureen, by the way, I love what you just said about that, because don't you recognize at this point in your life, like, I feel souls. I don't meet people and just look at the superficial, like, I feel souls. And I don't know any of you face to face yet. I feel your soul. And that's the phase that I'm so excited to be in. I told my husband, if I live to be 50 in one day, I'm good. I did everything I wanted to, and I love life, and I can leave. You know, I've got a lot more to do. But I'm just saying, don't you notice that as you age, you go, I just feel that person. I feel them. Not I know them or I like them, but I feel them.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, I got goosebumps on that.
Off of that
I know. Me too. Me too.
Stepping off of that thought, I wanted to know, whoever the intuitives are, capping off of that last thought, what sentence or two sentences would you have for each one of the Geminis going forward in 2020, from now to 2021? And I'm open, so if you wanted to say, Lori, all you need to do is listen more to your gut and less to your ego.
I was going to say, Lori, trust your intuition. Yes, trust your intuition, number one. Those are your spirit guides talking to you. So trust them. Your first thought, your first gut feeling, those are your spirit guides. The second one, that is your brain trying to convince you to do otherwise. So going forward, always trust your first gut feeling. That is the correct way to go. And know, without a shadow of a doubt, you are completely in control of your own reality by the thoughts you think. So just hone that, own that, live it, believe it, receive it. It's yours. Like, this is a very powerful, this is a very powerful shift coming through that is just going to be just so amazing, so amazing. So own it, Believe it, receive it, accept it, and just live it to your fullest. Now is the
and
time.
Lori,
For us.
I'll piggyback off of her by saying follow the emotion. So if it feels good, you're on the path. If it doesn't feel good, get back on the path. And it's that simple to just say, this feels like something I should do. I have joy, I have fun, I have happiness. That's your guide to say, I'm exactly where I should be. When you're off on, I'm feeling negative, I'm bringing up the past, I feel depressed, I feel anxious, then you know you have some work to do to say, let me get to a neutral place where I can find happiness again. And when I'm back in that place of joy, then I know I'm back on my path.
Good point.
Very well
spoken. Definitely, yeah.
Wow. That's awesome. And that's absolutely correct about me, because my stomach feels like it wants to explode. I have such stomach pain.
Barbara, you there?
Yes, I said,
okay.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of good energy with all of you. I feel like this is going to be a really good year for you
what
guys.
happens when a bunch of
I keep getting chills. I love it.
Some people who are very, very intuitive wind up viewing the same room. I'm just curious because, I know a lot of joking people who would want to make a joke and say, well, let's make them all play poker, but I'm curious. They're all psychic. What happens when they play poker? But I'm just saying, what does happen? Like if we were all in the same room.
I don't know. I want to take you all to the horse races. That's what I need to do.
People used to take me to the horse races, Barbara. Back in college, I had people that would take and I would pick them. But the only time that I couldn't pick the horses correctly is if I bet. My guides wouldn't let me. But people would take me to the races, and they would place 1, 2, 3.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's not like the trifecta. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Oh, my
No, you know
God.
what it is? We're raising each
that.
other's vibration, so it feels very good. We're all raising each other's vibration right now.
Yeah.
And so it all feels really good. Yeah.
And the interesting part is that everybody has a different piece, so there's no hierarchy. Everybody has a piece that they give, and I don't have the horse race or the poker gift, but I see dead people, so okay.
Yes.
That's
another question I have. I have another question I have for the mediums. What happens when you walk past the graveyard, or if a bunch of you were to get together and walk past the graveyard?
I bring them.
Well,
I can't have a phone with me because they attach to my electronic devices.
Oh,
but I definitely yes, and I scared my daughter half to death. It was horrible, and it's like, Whitney, you have the gift too. One day you will come into it.
Yeah.
But I brought a phone, and I should have known better. But it turned really scary.
Electrical devices don't do well. I did see a dead woman the other day at Lowe's parking lot. And so I wanted to double test to make sure of what I'd seen. So I contacted a friend of mine last night, and this friend of mine is very intuitive. And I sent her a drawing of the woman. The woman was just staring at me in the parking lot at Lowe's, and then she just vanished. Mm-hmm. And I can't. Now, here's what the problem is that this trusted friend of mine, she's originally from England, and I think I've talked to Jonathan about her, but she was abducted by a UFO, and she does have an implant. And so we have a tendency to not quite agree, and I thought for sure I'd have an agreement on what I saw at the Lowe's parking lot. This was just like Monday, I think, because, I go to Lowe's a lot. And she says that I'm wrong. But
about the implant?
Sorry?
About the implant or the drawing?
No, I'm sorry. I don't mean to confuse you. The dead woman that I saw in the parking lot at Lowe's. And since I brought this up, what do you all pick up? Was that a dead woman that was staring at me in the parking lot and then vanished?
Yes. So that's why I didn't understand. Yeah. And I thought that she had an implant. I was like, oh, I'm so glad we're bringing it up. because I talk to Jonathan about UFOs and aliens a lot.
Yes.
And I'm like, good, another one. Yeah.
Yes.
Even though I think it's
Can I ask everybody? So this is kind of a new gift for me that I didn't understand I had for a while, and I had to learn how to hone it. So, Jonathan, to your question, I was in the graveyard in Tombstone, Arizona, and there's a lot of history in Tombstone and a lot of deaths, more murders, nationwide, one year than the entire country. And as I was in the graveyard, and this was years ago before I understood this gift and what I was what I was supposed to be told, and I would get physically ill, like someone punched me in the stomach, and it would literally bring me to my knees.
May I interrupt you really quickly?
Else?
You were jumped. You were
Say that again?
You were jumped.
Oh, really?
This is Vanessa speaking.
What is
this
that?
This is Vanessa speaking. I am also a physical medium. You were jumped by a spirit.
And you know what's weird is I felt like Barbara was too. I felt like, Barbara, you were pushed at some point in your life.
Yeah.
Does that make sense to what I'm saying?
Too.
Yeah.
Wow.
You were completely pushed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. And my husband,
they do that.
My husband was with me, and he said, "I feel like you were," because I've always felt like that was a past life. I felt like I knew Tombstone. I walked into the birdcage. It was familiar. There's a picture on the wall, the only one with no name, no date, no information, and I looked at it and I knew it was me. And when I go in there, it's like that smell when you walk into your parents' house where you grew up. And then as we were walking through the graveyard, my husband said, "I feel like you were one of them, and you were so attached to the town and to the people." To be honest with you, I think I was a madam in the brothel, but because it's so comfortable for me to be in the brothel, and like I heard myself. I heard, get out of my space. Everybody's in my area. And it was only when I saw people dressed in period garb. So I knew there was triggers from something in my Akashic
and I
record.
have the chills. So there was a woman, and she was heavyset. And she was so jealous of you. She was extremely jealous of you. That is the woman that pushed you.
Big
so
nose Kate, probably.
Yes. Yeah. Like, she was so jealous. You were actually pushed. And they will do that. God. So when you were in the cemetery and you felt like you were getting stalked, you were actually getting stalked. Like sometimes they do that. Yeah.
What does that mean? I mean, I've never heard that expression.
So they're here still just dwelling. They have not ascended. They haven't gone to where they're supposed to go. They're just
haunting.
I call it a loop. Yeah. And they're just haunting, and they still hold on to what they held on. So like the woman that was very jealous of Barbara and this is lifetimes ago. She's still living that, but she can't see the reality that we're seeing. She just still sees her reality. So when Barbara walked in, she knew her energy, because you're still the same being. You're just reincarnated over and over and over again. So when she saw you, it was like, no, now you're in my space again. So you had it. You guys went back and forth.
I would like to.
I feel that. I completely feel what you're saying. That's exactly, and you can't explain this to others, but that's exactly what I felt. I was like, this was my domain, and someone didn't want me here.
What
I have
happens
something to say.
It's a bumping of energy fields into one another, literally.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I was going to say something. Not to jump in and then you can go back to the topic. I've said this before, and I think I've said this to all of you. I am starting a TV channel, and I just realized that everybody here that's on the phone, I would love to have them on that channel in some capacity, and I'll go down the list. I mean, Vanessa, whenever you're on our show, you do a lot of things that people sit back and they wonder, gee, how is she doing it? It would be great to see you on a visual perspective. Marlene, you do your theta healing. I would love to see that on video rather than on audio. Hope, you have wanted to talk about relationships and for a long time. and your past, and you have said to me that you wanted to get it all out. And
I want to
Joyce,
help women that are stuck, or they feel like they're stuck in abused relationships, and they don't have the strength to leave. And I want to give them the strength to leave.
Oh,
and
my
Joyce,
God.
I really believe that you would have a lot to offer as well. I think that, if you would like to, I would love to have you on. I'm starting a TV channel. With me and Barbara, we're doing it, and it's going to be on Roku.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that would be great.
I wrote 10 books.
So nice.
So in the 10 books that I've written, there must be something in there that you might want. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to interrupt the thought. It was something I realized just now. I mean, seriously, you're all so brilliant, and Vanessa's always been my doctor, and Hope is always the girl in the bathing suit on the beach.
You're forgetting something. Wait, you're forgetting something. I'm interrupting you right now, Jonathan.
Yes.
Do you remember a short time ago you asked me about one of your friends' illnesses, and I told you what it was?
What was it?
Fibromyalgia, I believe. You said it couldn't be diagnosed. Remember, you said it was correct? I just thought of that. I don't know why I interjected that. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't really know who you're talking to, but I mean, this is something. I would love to put all of you on a television show that I'm doing, or a television channel. So that's just a thought. I would.
I
would love that.
Honestly, you know what I just observed, guys? This is what I just observed. It just came to me. Is this integration of each of us, because I feel like we all share that same exact vibration. You were talking about relationships. My next book is about relationships, and Vanessa with her abilities, and Joyce with her abilities, and Hope. I love that this is like, I feel like we're integrated, like we're like one. This is crazy. Don't think I'm crazy. You know how you hear that word all the time. But I feel like there's like 6 of us, but we're like one soul, just like split into 6 places. I just see this integration, and I'm loving this, Jonathan. That's what you were saying, is like everyone together, we all have this combination that is like magic when you're all together.
Yes.
I think that's so lovely.
Nice. Yes.
And Barbara,
nice.
is a lot more psychic than she leads on. I mean, isn't that true, Barbara?
That's true.
According to Vanessa, yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Well, allow me to interject quickly. Is that when you come along with like-minded people, for example, in this situation tonight on this show, your energy fields start to heal and accelerate, and your gifts and talents, because we're all psychic, but we all have the capacity to shut the psychic capacities off like a light switch. So when they come and jump into play, it's because you're with like-minded people. Oftentimes, if you work with a psychic and or a medium, you too will start to accelerate and align with the energies of the psychic and or medium. I hope that makes sense. Or an energy.
Draws it out.
So how many psychics? We have 4 psychics and mediums.
So it's not contagious like the COVID. It's just everyone has it. And you can perfect it, right?
Yeah.
It's a pretty contagious. It's a healing.
Yeah, I love catching. I'd rather catch this than anything else.
Yeah. I'm sitting here.
That's good. That's a good point. I like that.
Yeah.
I'd rather catch this than anything else. That was great.
And I have another question about psychics. Okay, this is something. I was talking to a psychic today, and it was some confusion over what someone said about her and everything. And then she called me back, and then on my birthday, she goes, "Happy birthday." And she goes, "You were taking part in gossip," and she gives me this long lecture about gossip. And then I'm thinking to myself, after I got off the phone, I started thinking about her, and I was like, look, with all due respect, I don't know where you draw the line. I mean, okay, first of all, obviously all of you at some point has had to tell someone, I think your spouse might be cheating on you. Now, wouldn't some people call that gossip? I mean, I don't understand the difference.
I think it depends on the circumstance. I don't know. That's not gossip.
So, yeah, gossip would be like if I called you and I said, guess what? So-and-so's cheating on so-and-so. But if someone's calling and wanting to know, I have a bad feeling, is it true or not? And we tap into the universal truth, and it comes out truth, it's not gossip. But if I were to call someone randomly that it was none of their business and it had nothing to do with them, then that would be gossip.
Oh, I love that. I love that. And Jonathan, I would add to that and say you go with your gut. If it feels good to tell the person because you want to be honest and you love and care about the person, then you say something. If not, it's their lesson to learn, and they will find the truth. The universe will give them the truth, and it's not our job to do that.
What do you think,
Yeah,
Martha?
everything
everyone is saying here is accurate. I have a question. How much life does a lie have?
Ooh,
only as
much
much life as you give it. Only as much life as you give it.
Okay. Do you have to keep pumping that life full of life?
Yeah.
Energy. As much energy as you give it. If you give it energy, it grows and it expands. But if you, like burning out a fire or like burning out a cigarette, if you nip it in the bud, that's it. It's gone.
Okay.
I totally agree. Where attention goes, energy flows. So the more attention you give to negativity, the more momentum it picks up. So the less attention you give to something that's not positive, it will die. It will have no choice because that vibration will fade, and then the better vibration will gain the momentum.
Okay. And a lie takes on a life of its own. It really forms into something really ugly, toxic, really bad. It's just best to always speak the truth, whether it's going to hurt someone's feelings or not, but you're not trying to. But it would hurt them worse to know that you lied to them, and they would never trust you again. Some people, like for me, I'm one and done. You lie to me, that's it. Like, I just, in the back of my mind, I
don't think you should tell them if they don't ask you, though. If you spoke to somebody and say, hey, I think that, and you don't have any back up to give them proof except for that you're just psychic, maybe you shouldn't tell them that because they might not want to hang around you.
No, and only if they ask, because they're certain.
What if they just don't want to know that information, or that planted a seed of doubt in the relationship? So I know
so you're breaking a code of ethics if you tell them that and they don't ask you. So as a psychic medium, you have to live by a code of ethics, and you can't just go give readings to people that are not asking for them, because you are truly breaking it's a universal code of ethics. And I would be terrified I would lose my gift, so I always try to stay on the line of code of ethics. And people, sometimes they just don't want to know the truth, and that's okay, and they're living in bliss not knowing the truth. But it's not for us to destroy them. But if they come to us wanting to know the truth, this is our gift.
I agree, because they have to be in a place of being receptive. So you're only going to be given what they can be receptive to hearing. So when I do spirit guide readings and I receive the messages, I know that the person in front of me is ready and receptive. Otherwise, their spirit team wouldn't give that to me to give to them. So I love that you say that. You're not adding anything in there, and you'll know when they're ready to receive that.
Yes.
What do you do in the situation where there is energies around you? Like, I'll give you an example. My house is 30 years old, and there's all kinds of spirit activity,
everywhere.
Lights
yes,
on,
I feel it. And your daughter knows it too.
And what?
I can feel your daughter knows it too. Your daughter?
I have a daughter.
Oh, I thought this was Barbara. I'm so bad with
Lori.
The Lori.
Lori.
Okay. You and Barbara sound the same on the phone for some reason.
Oh, thank you.
Barbara, your house was filled with spirits.
The 30-year-old house it's contained in the ground. This activity. Can I ask? Is the house on a hill?
Yes.
Yeah. there's a lot of activity. There's a gentleman. Let's see. Okay. Have you seen a white silhouette out front of your house?
Yeah, something like to
girl.
turn the lights
okay.
off and on. Yeah.
Yes, that's understandable. This is a very busy entity. This girl out, it looks like a girl or at least just a young female who is searching on, if you and I are standing at your front door, she goes to the right of you and me. And I want to say that's north, but I'm not going to go out that far on the limb. But she's being chased, by the way. Do you ever hear wailing and boots?
Yeah.
Do you hear, yes. This needs to be interrupted. Speak to the girl. Ask her to go to the light. Tell her the light is asking for her and that the light is magnetic. She's searching. She rather comes around you because she seeks you as family. As I'm telling you this, I'm getting Kundalini confirmation, which we refer to as Barbara Moore chills. So I'm getting the confirmation on that. She's looking.
I'm picking up stuff on Barbara too. That after this, please don't let me forget because Spirit keeps talking to me about Barbara as well. That Barbara, you've had a lot of encounters with spirits.
Yes.
Even living with them.
I was going to ask you guys, should I be afraid of them? Because
no. But I know your daughter can see them. They're back again? Yeah, well, because I feel like you've had...
and pushed down the staircase, and then I saw the ghost. For the first time, I saw two ghosts right out here, and this lady was rotting. Her body was rotting. She died in the apartment next to mine. I saw her and a little child and a dog. So, three ghosts. So this is 3 spirit encounters that I know about that I really was aware of, that there was no doubt. Should I be afraid?
Because that's what I was picking up. Right.
One suffocated me the first time, almost, and then...
Yeah, they do that. They will throttle you. Spirits will throttle you.
So I know that you sage, but send them to just keep sending them to the light, and you will feel like something in your energy, like this doesn't feel good, like your heart will start pounding. And if it doesn't feel good, then just kindly just send them to the light. Ask for a white light of protection. Ask that your house be protected. So you have your grid, and that also helps too. Yeah.
I'm not afraid, actually.
But I just feel I feel them all around you. So that's why I kept picking up that you had spirits. So that's why I thought it was you talking. Yeah.
Actually, I it's not just this house. It was at my other house as well. This is Lori again, and I seem to be a spirit magnet. I would just like to be like everyone else and get a good night's sleep, but it's way too loud. It's way too loud. And
have you asked them to leave you alone at night? You can set boundaries with them.
Oh, yeah, I do. I started off nicely, and now it's firmly.
The invocation.
Vanessa, have you told her about your grid thing that you have that goes from one?
Yeah, no, I haven't. But I did send one to Barbara, and I put grids down on properties. I do it all the time. I send grids out to people everywhere. And what they do is they do establish a boundary, but you also, as you put the grid in, as you place each set of stones, set of crystals, you say, I'm placing this grid and you are leaving. And as you finish with the last set of stones, you say, I am now placing the last set of crystals. You have to leave in 5 seconds. And they will leave. It's interesting.
I feel like that is your answer, Lori. Yeah, I feel like that is your answer.
Yeah, it's a grid of black tourmaline, selenite and pyrite. And sometimes Spirit leads me to add other crystals to that. For example, if there's unforgiveness or if someone's unable to conceive, I will add rose quartz. And in the center of the grid, I always add a very powerful stone as a connector or generator, and I usually select a selenite tower. And none of these crystals need to be rejuvenated or regenerated or cleared, because the black tourmaline performs without that requirement. Selenite continually cleans and it doesn't need to be revised, but pyrite does. It's a prosperity grid too. So if money seems to not stay in its checking account, or house repairs or office situations are just hemorrhaging checking accounts or the accounting, this is an excellent way to talk to and reestablish financial platforms. It's interesting because I put down another grid here at this property in Houston in March. It was March 30th. And this neighbor who was always shooting at my horses for like 10, 12, he just moved.
Thank God.
It's amazing how they work. I have so many clients across the United States who buy my grids, and I sent 5 grids to an attorney up north, and this attorney is so happy. Things are so much better. Like, money is staying in the checking account. He has a housemate that's able to study for her LSATs now. She hasn't been able to study at all for law school or LSATs. It's what you do is, it's a physical medium. You go through the property and you look and see what it is that's causing a disturbance. And there were so many disturbances in this house. That's the short side of the story. But the grids tend to really talk to the entities that are there because, and by the way, sadly, we have so many COVID deaths, sadly so. I am very cognizant of speaking to anything that comes my way, for example, here at this house, because they find you. Each of us who are here on this call tonight and out there listening, they find us because they see your light. And so you must
That's what they were attracted to.
Yeah. And you call in the light and send them on. I mean, I won't go into detail about that. I know we all have platforms of how to accomplish that. But it's very busy out there right now, and they don't know they're dead. And so we have a lot of hauntings and people who are stuck in between worlds.
Yeah. And, sometimes it does get too much. I lived right across from a highway, I-10, and there were so many deaths, and I would see them walking across to right where I lived.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And then I would have men just screaming in my room horrible things. And I said, you know what, you're angry, and I will not allow you to be here, and I'm sending you to the light, and if you choose not to go to the light, you need to leave where I live now.
Exactly.
And they were gone.
That's exactly
And my
right.
friend said there was a man walking around where I lived. Well, as long as you're outside, you're not allowed inside. But if you can really set boundaries with them. But I'm really feeling the grid will just eliminate it all. I really do.
True.
In your case. I really, 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 really do. Like, I'm getting this really strong feeling.
Can I ask a question of any of you? Since I'm a medium and I don't see the actual spirits that are still here, I see, those who have passed and they give me messages. So tell me about this, and I feel like everyone is kind of connected in this way. What do you do? I know that my son has a gift, and he has had it since he was a baby. He would talk to spirits in the crib. We had a lady that died at 101 in our home, and he would talk to, he's named after my grandfather. So what do you do with children who, like, he's 21 now, how do you get them to embrace that gift without fear?
He will on his own time. Are we out of time?
I will say that, the only thing I'm going to say to that, even though I don't really consider myself that much of a psychic, I think that when I took a parapsychology course in college, and I began to see people who were educated. When I say educated, I mean like PhDs, talking about paranormal events. And it does happen. You'll see somebody who is very educated, paranormal PhD, from an accredited school and everything, talking about an event, and suddenly it's like, what? You don't really have anything else but to listen to it because put value in someone's education, then what do we do? So I would say that, like my father, for example, is sort of 50-50. He's 50-50 skeptic, 50, believer. And he's heard some wonderful experiences. He was a psychiatrist for many, many years. And, like a good example of him is that he was watching, I think it was James Randi one time, and my father was like, this is ridiculous. The only thing James Randi does is he does something, and he says, okay, if there's a hidden camera there and a magnetometer there, that proves how he did it. Doesn't prove how he did it. But then at the same time, he will look at a psychic and say, this guy's faking it. So he's sort of 50-50, And I think that there's such a thing as healthy skepticism. But I think it's sort of an evolving thing. Because I talk to a lot of people that say they're psychics, So I think with the more people you talk to, you sort of become more comfortable with it because then you feel like you're not alone, if that makes sense.
Well, can I say something?
No, totally. And I noticed more people will believe when it's a personal experience, right? So if I do a reading for someone and I'm able to bring, someone from their family in, they do tend to believe it more. So he has to have more of his own personal experience to understand it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I was going to say something. That you mentioned Randy before, and the amazing Randy, who's supposed to make us all look very bad. I was on both the Oprah Winfrey Show with him, and I was on with Regis Philbin twice with the amazing Randy, and I was on 3 times altogether, and none of those times did he give me the check that he has crumpled in his pocket, because he was not able to make me look bad or prove that I was fraudulent. So I don't even want to hear about the amazing Randy, because he's just a magician and, there's nothing going on there. And, I'm tired of fighting. So if you were to say to me, well, what can we do to make ourselves look better? There's nothing, because I think we're light bearers. I've been listening, and you've all done an amazing job of bringing truth and light, and I think it's working slowly but surely. I think this whole shifting of the third to the fourth and fifth, blah, 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 blah dimension is very much what is needed on the planet. It's overdue. That's all I wanted to say about that.
Yeah, I like that. And if you notice, the younger generation is discovering it. Cool to see that
I'm tired.
The younger generation is shifting.
I'm just very tired because I've been doing this for a long time, as we all have, and it's been an uphill battle. And on the bright side, you have people like Jonathan's father, who's a psychologist, who is fair. A psychiatrist, he's fair. He's saying, maybe Randy's a jerk, which he really is. But not everybody is real. Your father is being reasonable. That's the point I wanted to make, Jonathan.
He is reasonable. Yeah. He says that. I think this is something that he also said. He said that we live in a world where you can talk to God, but if God talks back, you're crazy.
Exactly. That's the most profound. That's the most profound thing I've heard in a very long time. That's very well said, Jonathan. That's very good.
What he told me. Yeah, you can say anything you want to God, but if God talks back, you're crazy.
Exactly. Okay, so that was very well said. That he gave us that. So the point is that I don't know if in our lifetime we're going to really see a change in mentality, but it's good that Jonathan's going to be doing a TV show, right, Jonathan? That's great.
TV channel, but yes.
Okay, you started. Well, my daughter and I started a TV channel also, and it's called Kellerology, based on our last name. So we also have 2 YouTube channels. And
now, is this on YouTube or is it on television?
I don't know what she has done with it. She said it's going national on TV, so I don't know. Right now, we started with YouTube, and I really have no idea.
Okay, is it on Roku?
I don't know. We're only 2 weeks into it, so I'll let you know when that happens.
Okay.
But right now, it's just...
Does your daughter have a gift as well?
To a certain extent.
Does your daughter have a gift as well?
Busy, I'm trying to tell you, to a certain extent she does, but she's so busy being a Virgo and being so analytical that she covers it over. My son, who is Pisces, is much better at mediumship. So I'd have to say they both have. But it's a struggle for Virgos because they have to stop and think about every single little thing. This is really true. And when you're psychic, you can't really be like that. You have to just say, well, maybe this is true, and give it some time. Give it a little space. I don't know if that answers your question, but
yeah, so, it does. I have my daughter. She'll be 29, and she actually found my little Zeke, who's my dog, who's my soulmate. So she uses her gift sometimes, and when I say sometimes, it's maybe once every 5 years. But she knows she has a gift, but she just puts it away, and she likes to live in the third, what we call the third dimension. But when she does use her gift, it's for these amazing things. And I said, Whitney, your whole life should be this way. But she's born in September 27th. So I don't know what sign that is. I don't know if that's a Virgo or
Libra.
not.
It's Libra.
Libra.
Is it Libra? Yeah, but she just rather not. She said, I see the judgment, and I said, you don't have to be scared of the judgment. Just live your truth. And if this is your truth, live it. And I'm thinking one day, I bet she's almost 30, one day she'll maybe have an awakening, and then she'll know that that's her purpose. But other than that, I just kind of leave it alone. Yeah.
They're very analytical people. It's an air sign, and they're going to judge and balance, and they're going to be charming, pleasant, and sweet, and you're going to love them. But they're not going to give you the right time of day about anything psychic. Don't forget that. That's not going to happen.
Like
Jonathan,
one thing I am grateful for, she knew was what Oblique was.
Jonathan, if you
that's amazing because my son that I was talking about that's 21 is also a Libra.
Oh, really?
If you ever wanted to have Joyce's son on, Jonathan, the show, I've had a reading by Joyce's son, and he comes on, with both barrels. Joyce's son is a chiropractor, and he is so good. It's just like
really?
It's like he's reading the way that it comes out. The way that her son does the reading is amazing.
But who's speaking? Who just said it?
He's a chiropractor. He is good. I called into her show
what's your name?
one time. Lori.
What's your name?
Lori.
Oh, it's Lori. Okay.
I know, Lori. I'm sorry. Both of us, we keep getting confused with you, but you and Barbara sound alike on the phone.
Oh,
well, okay. I'll say my name. Yeah. Well, I had a reading one time with Joyce, and she had to hold her son back. He is, oh my God, that is a phenomenal reading. And there was him, he's a chiropractor, and you had another doctor. You're welcome, very welcome. You had another doctor. It was your son and another doctor and yourself. And that was the time that I was invited to a Zoom presentation, a Zoom show that you all were putting together.
Oh, wow.
I think that was a few weeks back.
Is that the one that my daughter did?
It could have been, but I know for sure that your son was passing out his number and letting us know to text, and he gave me the Zoom code, and I got so busy that it was on a Friday. They were going to put that together on a Friday. It was wonderful.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It's like, we never know how our children turn out. We're never sure.
Yeah.
If I find the link, because I save everything, Jonathan, I'll send it to you. I don't remember her son's name, but I know he's a chiropractor.
Scott Keller. His name is Dr. Scott Keller.
That's right. Okay, yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Dr. Scott.
That's
Keller.
Your son?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's very gifted.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you. When he was a baby, he's the ultimate Pisces. they're the most. I think they're the most psychic sign. He would say to me, "I think you need to change my diaper now." You know, he was just, and he'd say, you know, and he was reading my mind. He was reading my mind even when he was a baby. And if I'd be sitting at a light and daydreaming, he would say, "You have to go now." You know, I can't go. It's really very, very intuitive.
His hands are very special because I'm shown, and you could probably ask him, Joyce, his hands vibrate when he gets into the auric field of a client. He doesn't even really have to be in a room with a client. He rather knows just by long distance, if you will. He does probably long distance healing, but his hands are so special. His eyes are very
thank you.
special.
I'll tell him you said that.
Healing. All right.
Yeah,
good.
absolutely. Right, I do long distance healing too, and I for some reason, maybe you all can give me an answer to this. I think that distance healing, in my case, is more effective than hands-on healing. If someone is 3,000 miles away for some reason, I don't know. I think there are better results with that. Contact healing is okay too, but I don't have an answer. I've had people who are on the other side of the world say, "Thank you, that worked very well." And I was like, "Oh my goodness!" It's like, what? How is that possible?
Well, Barbara and I did it just the other day. I'm a certified Reiki practitioner, and I wanted to know if Barbara would have received the healing. And we had a conversation this afternoon, and Barbara rather decided that. Well, I didn't ask, right, Barbara? I think you volunteered.
Right.
I'm just a channel, so I take no credit for it. But it rather helped.
On my back, I woke up today and I thought, I can't believe it. I am not creaking around in horrible pain where I almost want to cry.
Wow. Wow.
Yes, and
It's
then
amazing.
I remembered, she did. She must have done the healing on it. And it was amazing. So thank you. This stuff really does work for all of you listeners. This is really amazing stuff. I'm so grateful that I'm on this show. I mean, what a perk. I have all of you around me taking care of me. It's wonderful.
Lori, where did you come from? Lori, do I know you? Do you know Scott? Are you Jonathan's friend? Who are you? How do we know?
I am. I called into the show. I'll tell you the synchronicity. I called into Jonathan's show, and I picked up on your energy. And I was remembering a reading that I had with you on Jonathan's show. So something in my mind told me to go to Blog Talk. Boom, there it is. Joyce Keller. And I go, oh, okay.
Oh, thank you. Okay, that is,
yeah, and it's synchronicity. And I just clicked, and there was your son, and there was another doctor, and I was like, wow, I didn't know the show was here. Wow, and I just listened to my gut. I just listened, and it was almost like you were talking to me because I could hear the reading that you gave me on Jonathan's show, and then I thought, okay, let me go ahead and finish doing what I was doing. The thought wouldn't stop, so I was compelled to go on Blog Talk without even having the computer on. So I went ahead and went on, and I'm like, oh wow, Joyce Keller's on. Whoa, how did that happen? And you called into the show. No, it was you were inviting me.
It's hard to get well,
telepathically, you invited me.
I'm sure.
I think that's so
I'm
dear.
Sure I did. I appreciate that. So, Jonathan, tell us your plans. Where are we going with all of this?
Well, my plan? I mean, what do you mean by plan?
You said that you're going on live TV. What's
what I'm going to do is I saw a thing that says how to start your own TV network. And I was skeptical at first, so the first thing I did was I called an old teacher who worked at my own school and majored in broadcasting because I wanted them to see if this made any sense to them because it didn't make any sense. I've never heard anybody tell me that they were going to help me get on TV's channel. I've never heard anybody tell me that. And they said that, and apparently what it is that we're living in a different era than the way everybody here grew up. For example, because we have the internet now, which we didn't have 30-something years ago, 40-something years ago, it allows us to be easier to do. And another thing is Roku even says on their Wikipedia entry that they're giving people an opportunity to have their own channels. So everything seemed to go okay. So I bought this course, took it, and then I bought all the tools that I needed to put the videos up. The other day, I have to pick a category. Well, what I did was, I'm a universal person when it comes to like wanting to talk about a wide range of topics, So I said education, and then I made the slogan be "Learn about everything," so that way I could have something. I basically how everything relates to education. Is what I did. And then the other night, me and Barbara and our friend Linda, who is a relationship expert, filmed about 5 episodes for the channel, and then I'm in the process of uploading them. So it's going to be education. The first one's going to be educational, and the thing is like, for example, like Hope. I'm going to talk to Hope about what she can do about educating women who are in a relationship but are afraid to get out. And then I'm going to, if Vanessa's interested, I would like to do maybe some muscle testing on the channel. And then, I think that the way I like it is that this is going to be video, and people are going to be able to watch it from their television sets, not necessarily from just their computer. Does that make sense?
That's true.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Because it'd be on that Roku stick, right?
Do you have Roku, Hope?
You know what? Everyone in my family has Roku except for me. I don't understand how it works.
Everybody has Roku? Okay, then they can check out the channel, because I'm going to need about 100 reviews. So you might help me get those 100 reviews.
Okay, yeah, everyone in my family has it, and I'm the only one that doesn't have it. And I'm like, I wouldn't know what to do. I could read energy. I could talk to people that have passed on, but I couldn't figure out a Roku stick.
Well, actually,
I'm there with you. I'm right there with you. This is Maureen. I'm right there with you.
This is something that I found, and I just don't. This is the one thing I found. I found that the most psychic people in the world cannot program a VCR. I mean,
that's totally me.
That they all seem to say to me, because I know that Joyce was telling me, she goes, I don't know anything about internet. I don't know anything about internet. I mean,
I'm a complete idiot.
And then I would say, and then but then I would hear this other psychic. It's like the more psychic you are, the less tech savvy you are for some reason.
Yes.
I don't know. Maybe is that true?
Well,
it is so true. Yeah.
It's really very, very, it's very sad, because when my husband was here, my husband was alive, he took care of all the technical problems that I had. And I was telling Jonathan after Jack died.
That's why I made her a Facebook page. I made Joyce the Facebook page.
Exactly.
But
Jonathan, you're my hero.
Oh, so sweet.
You really are my hero, Jonathan, because you came to my rescue.
How tech savvy are you, Vanessa? How tech savvy are you, Vanessa?
Did we lose Vanessa?
I'm here. What happened? I think I cut out or something.
Oh, I was asking how
he
tech
wants
savvy
to know
you
if
were.
you are technically savvy.
I am. I used to teach computer classes when I was first out of college. That was one of my first jobs.
Okay.
And you're
because
really
I had
great
offered
with numbers.
to make you a Facebook page, but you were
Numbers
interested.
are fun. Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm eating birthday cake all by myself. Somebody sent me birthday cake, and I had such a low dip in blood sugar that I had to actually go in the kitchen and get some birthday cake. What I wanted to say is, I think Vanessa must be in genius category, because if you're using the left side of your brain and the right side, that's pure genius. I'm an absolute idiot on the left side of my brain, as Jonathan just told you. I had no idea about my VCR, my computer, or anything. And Jonathan came to my rescue and set up a whole Facebook page for me. So
I did understand you were
really
helping me with your Facebook page.
Yeah, he's been
thank
a great
you.
friend.
I tried to tell the ex-husband I knew everything. He just didn't listen to me.
You can use both sides of it. Yeah.
I am
That's
not
why
tech-savvy.
that's why he's the ex, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Get rid of him.
I think he knows now.
You know what?
Yeah,
the magic, the key is you have to marry someone. My husband is an engineer, so I don't have to worry about any of that mathematical, logistical stuff. I can just stay in the spirit emotional side of it, and he can figure all the rest of that out.
That's nice.
That's why I married an engineer. But then, unfortunately, he died. But what you said about
I married one too.
is true.
Same here.
Oh my gosh, I married a mechanical
engineer.
engineer before.
That's what my husband is. Oh my gosh, everybody married engineers just for that reason.
Electrical.
Great
We were
balance,
married
right?
for 8 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I finally married an
Mine's
engineer.
an electrical engineer.
Oh my gosh, that is hilarious.
So
Everybody was
funny.
married to an engineer.
Yeah.
Well, what I find
That is
interesting
so
about
funny.
that, what I find interesting about that is that, you know, how you're always saying it's left brain, right brain. I mean, you know, you would think somebody who is so interested in math and that's what engineer would involve. You know, it's interesting, like how they. But what I find interesting is that these men, they're all like, you know, mathematical and everything, but then they're like, you know, it's like with they, it's like, I mean, you wouldn't think they would have anything in common, but then, you know, it's like, wow. I mean, you know, they love their wives and everything, so it's amazing.
It's a yin and yang balance. It's that twin flame kind of balance that you have to have, and it's so cool that I just heard that everybody pretty much has engineers in their lives, because we're the emotional genius and they're the logical genius, so it's a great mix.
It really is. You know, I thought I had died and gone to heaven. When I was in college, I worked for 150 engineers. I worked at a defense plant, and I was surrounded by engineers. And because I was very young, I actually had my pick of the litter. I said, which engineer do I want? And I chose one, and I married him. So I thought they were just the most, but let me tell you, engineers are pathetic people in many ways. They don't know that it's wrong to have one black sock and one green sock. They think that's okay, or they can. They don't have.
Oh my God! Okay, this is Maureen, and my husband is literally sitting here listening to this conversation and grinning and shaking his head. He's like, "Yeah, that's true."
But you know what? A lot of times their heads are so far up, you know what, that they don't remember the most simple, basic things. Like I would give out their checks, and they would forget to open the payroll check. You know, they would say, my check is here, and they would just put it on the desk and forget about it and go back to calculations. So they were very, I mean, I find that mentality really fascinating. How can you be so out of touch? That's the engineering mind from what I can see. It's just totally brilliant. Like the aeronautics engineers we're dealing with now. And I do hope that they take off on Saturday. I don't know if they're going to, but hopefully they can and they will. Who thinks they're going to take
my
off on
husband
Saturday?
they're very regimented, where us as Geminis, we're kind of fly by the seat of our pants, and whatever happens. So it works really well, because I've never had to go to the grocery store and get toilet paper through this entire quarantine. So I'm appreciating he's good. He's good as a checklist, and I can just sit at home and be my spiritual life coaching author, write my book self.
Right.
I have a funny story about toilet paper before the COVID-19.
Okay.
There was a store by our house, and it had a sale, which normally I wouldn't even have enough room for it. And it was $7.99 for 36 rolls. $7.99, and it was good quality. And I kept picking it up, thinking I would need it someday. I'm like, why would I need this? This is like years worth of toilet paper. And I kept putting it back.
Oh, boy.
And then I kept being drawn to it, like I need to pick it up. And my friend Cora was like, are you having some type of, like, emotional attachment that you're not able to, like, will just walk away from it? I'm like, I don't know. Like, I keep putting it down, and then 5 seconds later, I keep picking it up like I need it somehow. And within 3 days, COVID-19, came out, and I'm
Did
like,
you buy it?
God. I bought it because I could not walk away from it. Every time I walked away from it, 2 seconds later, I walked right back. And my friend Cora was like, what is wrong with you? Yeah.
Listen to your spirit team, no matter how minute it may seem. Let your spirit team guide you. I love that you got it. You're like, okay, I guess I'm supposed to get it. So just listen to them. They know this is.
And all I'm thinking about is where am I going to put 36 rolls, you know? And then I thought, this is crazy. So I put it back. I think this is crazy. And then 2 seconds later, I'm right back, and it's in my hand. And Cora's like, what is your emotional attachment with this? I'm like, I don't know. I'm just going to go with it.
Oh, my God. That's your spirit team saying you have these necessities, and we're going to meet them. There you go.
Yes, and so when everyone was worried about toilet paper, I'm like, well, I don't have to worry about toilet paper for a year, thank God. So, yeah.
My husband is so regimented. He would get up at 4:30 in the morning to go to work. He was an essential worker. He didn't have to go to work, but he's so regimented as an engineer that he would go to work, and he knew which stores he could hit and when they stocked. And I was like, wow, that's a lot of energy and brain power towards that. And I don't get it, but I'm so happy that I don't have to step foot into a grocery store. Thank you. I love you for that.
Yeah, isn't that great? Yeah.
We need to run him off on a copier.
Bingo, bingo, bingo to everything. Bingo, bingo, bingo.
Does anyone have any predictions? Since we're all very psychic, are there any predictions about this virus?
About desires?
The
virus?
Mm-hmm.
About COVID. Well, I keep being shown
about
that.
COVID. Yeah.
I've told Jonathan I've seen 2 guys working on this since end of February, middle of March, and it's in Ohio at a medical school in Ohio, and I didn't know that there was a medical school. I can't remember what town. What town did I even say? Was it Cincinnati or Cleveland? I don't remember now, Jonathan.
I don't know.
But
it was in Ohio.
Yeah, it was in. And so there's my prediction. It's like I've been shown that, and I've tested it repeatedly. And it's two guys. One's in medical school, the other one's in pharmacology school. Very, very advanced. And they've been breaking it down and trying to work on it. So there's my brush with fame right now there's the prediction for COVID, is that they're breaking it down and looking to disassemble the virus. So is that a vaccine? I get a yes.
There is. I wouldn't, and I mean, this is just my personal opinion. I hope no one takes it personal. But there is a vaccine, but it's created by the wrong people right now. I wouldn't take it in a million years.
Right.
Like, I'm not going to name names. Yeah, and because their intention of it is bad. But I do, what you just said, I truly believe that there are true scientists that are really going to try to. But, you know, COVID has been around. COVID is part of the SARS family.
I hate to interrupt, but may I augment the suggestion of what you're saying, Hope, is that I keep seeing little nanobots or little microbes put inside the vaccine unwittingly.
Microchips, yes. And I didn't want to say it because every time I say it, people are like, what are you talking about? I'm like,
this is good but
we
understand.
Marketing it
so I'm like, please, I'm like begging people, don't get the vaccine.
Right.
I feel like, this is Maureen, I feel like this was a moment in time that we were supposed to, there was a division of, if you're enlightened and you're moving the planet to a higher vibration, it's like we're deciphering between those who are going to stay where they are and they're not ready for the awakening, and then the other side is those who are ready for the awakening, they're going to be strong in moving forward and knowing what the truth is. And I feel like there's a definitive line in the shift of moving the planet toward the higher vibration. That's just kind of what I've been doing.
No, I agree.
And I agree too. And I've been doing a lot of inner work instead of freaking. So I have a friend and she's just paranoid so bad about COVID. And I said, you're living in fear. And that is what they want you to do. I said, step outside of the fear and live within yourself. Honest to God, but not only when I go out in public do I even think about COVID. It doesn't live in my reality. What lives in my reality is what I choose to live in my reality. And I know that the COVID exists. Of course, I wear masks, and protect myself if I have to go out. I try not to go out, but I'm not living in fear, and I've never lived in fear of it. But I know that it will come back around, but I hope to God that we handle it better than how we handled it this time, because everybody lived in a mass hysteria of fear that spread fear that it didn't need to. There could have been, I feel personally, it's just my own opinion, better way to handle it.
I completely agree. If I choose to live in peace, I will be in peace, and I will not observe anything that is going around me. I won't watch the news. I won't hear or observe or recognize those around me who are paranoid. I'm going to stay in my place of peace and harmony, and I'm a Pollyanna, but I will not allow that fear to control my life because I create my reality. So I love that you said that. I'm right there with you.
Yeah. So I didn't even think about the COVID. I'm sorry, my dogs are going nuts. I have a client at the door. I didn't think about the COVID until I was out because I didn't watch the news. I didn't watch anything that was going to lower my vibration. I lived in my reality. And my reality stayed the same, but I actually went inward because I felt so many people living in fear. I could feel their energy, and I just needed to go deeper within me to not feel what they were feeling because there was so much fear out there in the world. That is not how the world was intended to be like. We're not supposed to live in fear. We're supposed to live in knowing that we have faith in the universe, knowing that we have faith that things work out in our favor, and they do. Everything works out in our favor.
Faith is believing what you cannot see and the knowing that universe will take care of everything. And I have said this to so many people that this was a moment for us to take a pause, and physically and spiritually and mentally we were forced to go inside and say, what's important to me? What am I going to focus my energy on? So I completely agree with you. I love it.
Yeah, that's exactly how I lived. And I didn't even think about the COVID until I was outside and I saw everybody. I just thought, living in all this fear is not healthy for anyone because dis-ease causes disease in life. And there's just too many people living in a world of fear. And they still are. They really still are. And they're not saying that COVID is not real. It is a flu virus. But I just hope next time it comes around that we handle it in a better way.
Oh my gosh, I love it. You guys are my people. You are my people because I'm just saying
we are
that.
A soul tribe.
I'm just saying 2% mortality compared to 7% mortality 2 years ago for a normal flu season. I mean, you have to look at the facts. I'm in the medical field on my 9-to-5 job, and then spiritually I do my life coaching and that. So I see both sides of it. So medically I see the facts. I understand the facts, but they're not what I know of what spirit tells me or what my inner being says to me. And so this duality, again, being a Gemini, you go, well, I know you see this, but that's not really what it is.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Jonathan, you're so quiet.
No, I'm fine. I'm just sitting here listening to everybody. This is great. I mean, I just say that I think we have about a few minutes left, but I thanks everybody for coming on for everyone's birthday. Thank you for doing that.
Well, thank you for having us.
Happy birthday, everybody, and know that you guys are so loved, so blessed, so supported. Everything good is coming. I just feel it. I just feel
it was so fun listening to all of you guys, and there is a special energy, that's for sure, with the group, especially the birthday people. You just always are so happy on the birthday, and it's so fun to have all of you together in one place.
I think Jonathan
really was
Jonathan,
special.
You're a great host. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, and thank you guys so much. And it was such a blessing with you, working with you girls again, and talking to you, and just thank you for raising my vibration tonight. Just thank you so much.
Oh my gosh.
All of you.
Yeah, I want to say, you guys, this is the best birthday gift I could have ever received on my 50th, and this is something that I will never forget, and that you all are a part of this journey, my growth, and raising my vibration. I'm so grateful for all of you. This is Maureen, in case you didn't know. Thank you for just being here and being a part of my world, my time, space, reality right now. I'm so grateful for all of you.
Thank you, Barbara.
Honored to be here.
Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you, Joyce. Thank you, Vanessa. Thank you, Maureen. And thank you, Hope. I just want to say that I was able to learn a lot. And by the same token, I was also just so humbled and so blessed to be. I wrote something in the article about what Jonathan wants to do with this podcast, and this is going to be one of the things that I saw that he would like to do, which is grab a point in time where people are at, and, you know, maybe 100 years from now, somebody will be able to listen to this podcast and be able to get something in their hearts like we're feeling now, but for them to feel what we're feeling now 100 years from now, that those emotions, that vibration can transcend generations. Because I'm going to hold this forever in my heart.
Full body chills. Yes, 100 years from now, changing humanity.
Exactly.
Love it. It was my honor. Thank you for the privilege to be here tonight.
Good night. Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Good night, you guys. Thank you so much, everyone. Happy birthday, everyone. Celebrate.
Happy birthday to us. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Happy birthday, everybody. I don't know any of you, but I love all of you.
Oh, we love you too.